Today we'll be joined by Terence Davis, NBA player who's currently with the Rip City Remix, and he's previously played for the Sacramento Kings and Toronto Raptors. He went to Ole Miss for college, and he's the guy who had a great story about how he went from choosing to be undrafted to basically making his way onto an NBA roster through summer league. So he'll be joining us shortly, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Hey, Terence, how are you doing?
What's up, my man? How you doing? You doing all right?
Yeah, doing good, man. Appreciate you taking your time out of your day to do this. Really do.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for reaching out.
No, no problem. Been a
Yeah.
big fan of yours.
Appreciate you, my man.
Uh,
How you doing? You in Miami right now?
yeah. I'm right now. I'm a master's student, so I work for USA Today, and then I'm getting right now my master's at the University of Miami. So I'm actually
Okay,
here in a room I reserved to
that's
get some
what's up.
peace and
That's what's
quiet.
up, man.
Yeah. So, man, I know you're out on the West Coast, but where are you from originally? I know you went to Ole Miss,
Yeah, I'm from Mississippi, man. Born and raised in Mississippi. Went to college in Mississippi. Did 4 years at Ole Miss.
and
Still live there today.
oh,
In
really?
the
So,
midst. Yeah.
how often you go? Like, how much time do you usually spend a year in Mississippi?
So probably about 2 to 3 months out of a year. Mostly the summertime. Anytime I get a break, I try to go home and see family. But as of right now, I just recently got injured, so this would be the most time I spent back in Mississippi in quite some time. It's been since before college, so this the like I said, this the most amount of time I've been spent in Mississippi while I'm injured. So I'm actually in the midst of purchasing a home. I'm actually excited about that. Yeah,
That's
definitely
really
excited about
cool.
it. Yeah,
That's
no doubt about that.
Is it kind of humbling, that you've been away for so long that and being injured this year and kind of having kind of like an off year for how your career has gone so far? Is it kind of humbling and to be back to your roots?
I would say it's humbling. Definitely God, taking me through a humbling experience, kind of walking through humility, and I'm embracing it, I'm accepting it. It's not like, I you know I would say it's not like I've had like a terrible career or anything. Like,
No, you have a
I
great one.
I'll put some things on paper. It's just sometimes things don't work out. Things don't go the way they should go. Sometimes it's just things doesn't work out. I've seen Sacramento, GM Wes Wilcox at the G League Showcase, and man, this was before I stepped foot on the court.
Hmm.
And the first thing he did to me was apologize for how things didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Damn.
sometimes things just doesn't work out. And
So you don't hold
sometimes.
any like bad feelings or animosity
Oh
towards
no,
the Kings?
no. I mean, for what? God make no mistakes. I'm here now in a boot, man. Tore my Achilles, and a lot of people don't know. Like, this is news that people doesn't know, and um, like I said, I'm walking through this humbling experience, and uh, if it's God's will, I'll come out on the other side.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let me just
like nothing never happened.
So a few things, just as you said, I mean, you have not had a bad career. You're a guy who's called his own shots, told teams not to draft him, chose his own way, got himself a deal through summer league. I mean, everybody knows the Terence Davis story, how you made your own path. You told teams that you wanted to do your way. And I mean, you're a gritty guy. And I mean, I remember when I was, looking, I couldn't believe you didn't go sign this offseason. I thought you would have been, a guy that many teams we've seen
Mhm.
across the league, Boston, Miami, I mean, even Sacramento, those are all teams that need bench help, all teams that
Right.
I thought you could, even the Phoenix Suns are teams. So for me, my question is, and I tried finding stuff like you said about your injury. How have you taken all this? And you kind of touched on it, but is it hard? Is it just making you want to go back, into the lab and work, like, and now having the injury? How have you taken the last couple months, sitting in free agency and then getting hurt when you do step on the court 5 games into your season in the G?
So for me, man, it's been fairly, I won't say simple, but it's been rarely on the easier side because I just me and my wife just had a a kid. We had a little girl, and she's about 4.5 months now, man. And she's been, having a daughter, it changes you. It just makes you do things differently, look at things in life different. So having her just made me appreciate life more, man. So it's been fairly easy. Like if my time in the NBA is done now, I'm excited to just have a daughter. Just be able to put life into her, into her into her. So I mean it's been fairly easy, but that dog and that hunger always, is gonna be there. Especially if it's within you, you're always gonna, want to go out and improve, want to get better. And now that I'm injured, I feel like, man, I have nothing but to prove to people that you can come back from an injury like this. I've seen Clay, seen Kevin Durant, seen all these guys, DeMarcus Cousins, Wesley Matthews, go through this type of injury and come back and still perform at high levels, man. And that's what I'm out to do. I'm actually here in LA now. I have surgery tomorrow with Dr. Kirkle. He's the same guy who did Klay Thompson, DeMarcus Cousins. So,
Are you going to
man,
do
I'm
the zip Achilles that we've seen Cam Akers and Aaron Rodgers do, where they put the implement kind of like a I think it's called like the zip Achilles surgery, I believe it's called. I
no,
don't know.
I'm not. I don't think we're gonna do it that way. I don't. No, I disagree. I don't think so. Maybe I don't know. I don't think that's how Dr. Kirkle about to do it, but
Mhm.
we'll see. I'll have more intel on that. You know, in the next 24, 48 hours.
Was it a full rupture or just a partial tear?
They saying it's a full rupture, but I still it's like it's not a low rupture. It's more of like a little bit more higher, which is I asked doctor today, was that a good thing? Was bad? He was like, well, it's not really. It's not. It's still a full rupture. So but he said it's not as bad. Hopefully that helps me with my recovery and things of that sort. So still have a lot of tendon, that's still attached. So man, I'm just hoping for a full recovery and a fast recovery, trying to get back to so I can be at someone training camp, come August, September.
Has the doctor at all told you what your timeline would be? Would it be on pace for training camp?
Not yet, because we haven't had surgery. The surgery's tomorrow. I'll get reevaluated in a week. I don't know if it's the stitches, take out stitches or something in that area, but I'll check back with him in a week. I get to fly home and probably see him again in another 3, 4 weeks. So then I can, after that, hopefully I can start my rehab and we'll definitely know a timetable.
And if you mind me asking, how did the injury happen? And did you feel the feeling people say that somebody stepped on you when you blew the Achilles?
Yeah, so I just went up for, something you do it all the time, every day in a game, in practice or whatever. Just go for a rebound, came down, tried to push off. Felt like somebody like literally kicked me. Like it just felt like a kick to the back of my leg and fell down, kind of grabbed it and tried to get up because I just thought it was a kick and fell down again. And, as I tried to get up, man, I just knew something was wrong. Kind of as I stood up on both of my feet, um, it felt like my foot was slanted like this. Even though I was flat on the ground, it felt like my foot was slanted. I just knew something, so I just walked off the court, to the back of the locker room.
Was there
Yeah,
any
it was
pain?
as it happened. The only pain is like like you get hit and a frog come in your, like
Hmm.
that type of pain. That's it, and that's
Yeah,
not too painful. So it wasn't. It was. It's weird, man. But once you feel you can't really, walk or jump, or do a calf raise, it's just, you're gonna be sitting down for a while.
for you and being a part of the Rip City Remix being I guess, inaugural season of a brand new G League,
Right.
how in that kind of being like, was it, I guess, you joining the team and then getting hurt? Like, I my question was there are you was it kind of like I don't know weird in the sense because you had just gone there and it's not like something that had happened, maybe a few months down the road. Was there like how's the communications with the team and or is that something that you would revisit the G if in the possible in the future when you're in a year if you had to, or would you maybe like try other options?
I mean, it's not as of right now. It's something that in the foreseeable future, you just never know how things play out. God may have other things in works. So can't really just speak on it as of right now. But I would say, you know, just joining them, man, they were terrific. I was talking to Joe Cronin, which is the Blazers GM, Mike Smith, the assistant GM of the Blazers. A lot of the guys that's within the Blazers, and obviously Dan, that's the GM of the Remix. Been talking a lot with them guys before I ended up coming over there. It was like 2 or 3 week process. Then I officially said, all right, I'll come play with you guys. And man, they made everything possible. And still been doing everything they could even after the injury. So those guys have been phenomenal. It was a short stint. I think I played about 7 games, and it seemed like it was more, but it was about 7 games. And man, I don't know.
Was it
Honestly, I should have.
different
As far as the style of
compared to
play,
like yeah, like the style of play? Because like first off, it being an inaugural G League team, like how's it feel to be part of like the first season of a brand new team? And how much different is it like the grind being in the G, going from a guy who was in the NBA, like how much different was it your 7 game experience compared to
yeah.
the hundreds of games you played in the NBA?
Well, that was my first time actually playing in the G League. Since I've been around the NBA. I thought my rookie year, being that I went undrafted to sign when I signed with Toronto, I thought I was going to play in the G League pretty much the whole year.
Mhm.
Uh, had a great training camp. Nick Nurse played me 15 minutes opening night. I'm like, all right, this this is real. So, um, man, being that it was my first stint, I didn't know what to expect, but um, I would say, guys work extremely hard. Everybody's pretty much got the same goal, and that's to get called up. Um, I would say, the training and the, you know, trainers, things of that sort is not where it should be. Because you still dealing with professionals. It's not where it should be, but they try their best. Seriously, they really do. So, but it was good. It was a good good opportunity. It's the best thing to get called up. The best place to play in order to get called up to NBA team. So I do tip my hat off to that.
My question is, and you kind of touched on it next, is the training isn't where it's supposed to be. And I've heard that before. Is that the one thing you think the G League could improve on? Like if someone asked you, hey, Terrence, tell us what you think after playing, how this league could be better to maybe attract more people, what would you say?
That's definitely one of the tips I would mention for sure. I think the training staff is great. It's just maybe they need more. Maybe they need more. More of the technology there. I mean, like I said, you're still dealing with professional athletes. These guys who have left college early, still young. You just want to make sure they're getting that that type of feel, that NBA feel, where it's when you're a part of the NBA team, they making sure you get. Obviously, it's because more money is involved, but you're making sure you're getting the right amount of treatment, the some of the best treatment there is. So that's definitely one thing I would tip on, man, is just making sure guys are getting what they need, because at any given day stuff can happen, and now what, what I'm saying, because the money's not it's not nearby what it could be, but then again, it is what it is. So
That's really cool. And no, it's as someone who's just I do a little scouting, so I'm just getting more and more understanding how the contracts work for the G and how people
right,
make the decision to either keep pushing for the dream or to go get the check overseas.
right, right,
And
right.
Is that something for you when you before you accepted the G, was there ever a time that I know you said you had your daughter and it's been really simple, but was there ever a moment where you're like, damn, like why me? Like what did I do wrong? You had a great season last year and you played I mean more games you had before the year before showing that, the injury didn't carry over. So was there ever a moment where you kind of maybe got down on yourself and you're like, what did I do wrong?
I mean, especially as a competitor, you always think, but you never want to, overthink. You never want to worry or things of that sort. You know, in the Bible, God said, "Don't worry, cast all your worries upon Him." So that's what I try to do. And it's just a matter of time. I got certain opportunities. I actually, and don't people I don't think many people know this, if not any. I actually turned down a good amount of money to go play overseas, over in Greece or in the Euro League, uh, to stay in, uh, try to get back in the NBA, to stay in, go play in the G League.
Was that a
And
hard decision?
I wouldn't say it was hard, but it was it was a tough decision. Obviously, you know, anytime there's money on the table, you kind of never want to leave it out because you never know what happens. Look
Mhm.
at my situation now. With a torn Achilles, you know, it's just you just never know. So it's always gonna be a tough decision, but sometimes you got to make sacrifices. That's what I try to do: make a sacrifice to get somewhere where I feel like I belong. I feel like I'm an NBA player. If you put the numbers together, when I play over 15 minutes, the numbers 15 minutes in a game, the numbers is just it is what it is. Numbers numbers don't lie. So that's just me, man. I just felt like I'm an NBA player. This is where I belong. I didn't want to take my family through going overseas and having my wife in a whole different country with a newborn. So just making sacrifices for my family um, and just decided that I stay in the United States and try to do
No,
it that way.
makes sense, makes sense. And I know that's a lot. Your line of thinking is what a lot of players have thought. So my next question is, with the injury, the expectation for the rest of the year is what, rehab and get ready for next season to prove everybody wrong and get back into the NBA?
No doubt about that. That's exactly what the mindset is. Trying to make sure attack rehab as hard as possible. Trying to get the best, get with the best people there is. So that's definitely the mindset, man. And we gonna get to it. We're gonna do that.
And with that being said, what is one thing that is a skill that you've been working on that you think people haven't noticed and you hope that when you do get back, you can showcase to the league, like that people maybe everyone knows that you're a good microwave,
Yeah,
pop off the bench. Everybody knows you're gritty, you're grinding, you're going to do the hard work. But what's something that you want people, to start taking notice that, hey, Terrence is actually really good at this?
yeah. For one, I feel like I can be a pretty good defender, man. Picking up for just being a pest on defense. I feel like I can do that to a certain level, to a high level. I feel like I can really do that, and it's just a matter of want to. That takes a lot of energy. You know what I'm saying? So that means you got to be in great shape, things of that sort. So that's something that I really really want people to just understand. Like, you know, nah, dude wasn't just out there. Dude can actually defend. And another thing is just playmaking, man. Being able to handle the rock and play make your teammates better. That's one thing I wanted to go into the G League and try to showcase that I can play make others around me better. So those are definitely two things for sure.
With that being said, you did touch on your defense. Who is the hardest person you've ever guarded in the NBA?
Man, I didn't got this question a lot, man. I would have to say Luca. Luca
Really?
done it. Only because, man, he's just like he's 6'8" for one. He's about 225, 230, and you can't speed him up. So he's playing his own pace. And when I'm guarding him, if you go back and watch the we played Dallas, I think 2 nights in a row. if you go back and guard the I want to say the game. If you go back and watch the game where we played them on the second night, I think we end up winning this game. I'm trying to speed Luca up. Like I'm trying to speed him up. I'm trying to pick him up, not full, but like three quarter of the court, and just trying to make him just speed up. Like you can't. That's the only way I feel like you can at least try to slow him down because he's gonna get whatever he wants. Like he's a 20 shot guy a night, so he's gonna get 20 shots up. I just feel like if you try to speed him up, man, you'll get him out of his own rhythm. So that's the only thing that I feel like you can at least try to do other than double teaming him. Like if this 1-on-1, you gotta at least try to speed him up. So pick him up full court, if not three-fourth. But he did take me in the post. I just had no answer for him. He's 6'8", 230. I just had no answer for him. I think he scored on me like 2 times in a row, and I said, Luca, man, if you do that again, I'm gonna have to foul you, bro. Like I just can't let you put me in a post 3 times. Like I gotta foul you. So, and you probably see that on film as well. Like it's crazy, but it's reality, man. He 6'8", 230 or whatever. Took me in a post 2 or 3 times. The next time I fouled him, I had to. It's just it is what it is, man. But
So
no, he's a special talent, man. So
I've
he's
heard this
definitely
before.
one of the.
The
Say it
the
again.
decept I've heard people say Luca, the biggest problem it's the speed because he isn't you play at his speed. So why is it so hard? And I know people say this about Nikola Jokic too. It's like these guys, they don't play fast, they play for a fans slow. How is it
Right.
harder to guard someone who's playing, at a completely different pace? And why speeding him up is the best way to defend him in your mind, like Luca?
But I would just say because and at the game of basketball, pace is something that if you have pace, you can be a really good player in this league. Like look at Shea Killers Alexander. Like these are the type of guys that are high level scorer. They play at certain paces. You know what I'm saying? Slow to fast, fast to slow. Like it's just it is what it is. So you have some guys that go at one speed, maybe go at two speed, but you got guys that go slow to fast at any given moment. They stop on a dime and change direction, go this way, and maybe come back. Like that's hard to stay in front of. So I mean that's probably why guys like Shea Gilgeous Alexander and Luka Doncic, man, and there's other guys in the league, obviously, but guys that play slow to fast and play at their own pace, man, it's tough to stay in front of them. They
Yeah.
just have so much control of, especially of the rock, but of their body and their wiggle. So
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, we see this, in a different sport in football. They talk about that with the running backs. The best running backs are the ones who can literally stop and make everyone go past them, and then got that, stop and start speed. So I have a quick question. If you mind, if I list off the five best players we have currently ranked, do you mind if you just give me in whatever order you think those are the five best players in the league? Do you mind?
in the league right now,
Yeah, so Hoopshype, we do this thing called the global rating, and we have five players right now who are like our top five players in the NBA right now, who are also like the front runners. You mind if I just list them off and you just list them in your mind? Who's one, two, three, four, five, and
go ahead.
okay. First one, Shea.
Okay,
Where would you
you want
list
me to
him?
list them right
Yeah. Give me one, two, three, or five for Shea as ranking in the league right now.
in the league right now?
Yeah,
Shea may be top three right now.
top three.
Yeah, Shea may be top three right now.
Giannis,
Ooh, four,
four. Jokic,
one,
Joel,
two.
Luca.
Ah, okay. I'll take Shea over Luka right now, but
So
it's tough, man. Like you can't rank these guys, bro. Like you just can't, man. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. But that's a smooth top five right there for
yeah.
sure.
So basically, you're saying Jokic, Shea, Luca.
Jokic, Joe, Shea, Giannis, Luka. This into this right now, what they're doing right now this season. Yes,
Oh, they're old number one in my mind. But if you, it's like
yeah,
1-1-1-1. You know what I mean? It's
for sure,
insane.
for sure.
It's is so for you when you see like as an NBA player, like for us fans, I mean, I'm 6'2", like my dream was in high school, and I knew once I got to a point I could have played low level college or I could have fun in college, and I chose the latter. But as fans, we see like Jokic, Giannis, Shea, and we're mind blown. But as an NBA player, when you see those guys, and how is it as a player seeing other guys do stuff where you're like, holy crap, what's it like?
It's just normal. You got just a coworker who's phenomenal at their job. That's simply what it is. You got a coworker that's phenomenal at their job, man. So that's stuff you see all the time. You know what I'm saying? So some guys just do it way better than others uh, at a high level.
Is there ever a thought that like, hey, like I'm gonna try to copy that, or like, has there ever been a guy that you wanted to take a move from, and then you realize, holy crap, how is he doing that? And like maybe and it doesn't have to be
Uh,
one of those guys, but maybe a guy in the past.
and the guy in the past, yeah, I definitely I used to watch D Wade. I used to watch D Wade a lot, man. Like just a lot. I don't know why. I just D Wade was just the guy who I used to go back and just try to I wouldn't say mirror, but just watch him. See what he do defensively, offensively. Just how he how he carry himself, how poised he is in certain dimensions of the game. So that's definitely one guy. I used to just I would say Google and watch. Sure.
Is there anybody else that you would say in the past that you grew up watching as a role model, or like someone you emulate your game after?
I wouldn't say emulate my game, but someone I watched a lot. I was a Spurs fan growing up, man. I watched a lot of Manu. Oh my gosh. Like I watched a lot of Manu as well. So that was just, one guy that I liked as a basketball player, man. But I was a Spurs fan growing up. So probably about high school, right before I got to college. And um,
Make
yeah.
makes sense. My
Manu.
mom's from Argentina, so I grew up a huge Manu Ginobili fan. My layup
Wow.
package is the behind the back reverse, that he used to
Yeah.
always do under the layup. I love that's like my favorite move. So I got one or two last questions here. I don't mean to take up your whole time, but who are a couple young guys that have come into the league the last couple of years that you think are the future, or you are blown away by how they play?
Say blown away.
Or not, you don't have to be blown away, but you're like that, he's
I
good.
mean, some of these guys aren't considered young anymore. Like Ant Edwards, he's not young to me anymore. Like, he's up there, in top 10 player in the league right now. Like guys like that. But Scotty Barnes, he's one of them. You know, I've been watching Chet. OKC got a lot of young guys that's up and coming. They doing something special right now. I mean, who else? Who am I missing? The young fella at Orlando.
Paulo.
Nice, nice, nice. It's a lot of young guys in the league, man. It's kind of that's kind of where the NBA is going. Young guys kind of taking over. So
Hmm.
I mean, obviously you still got the older guys, your vets, your guys who win championships, things there. So you still got those. Those are they legends. They're gonna they're who they are. So as far as young guys, you got young guys who's coming out doing doing things that you maybe never thought they can do. Those are some of those guys: Scotty Barnes, Paolo, guys like that, man. Guys, definitely, young superstars for sure.
How was it going from an organization like Toronto under Nick Nurse, who, he had, a tighter rotation, and the guys usually the same guys played a lot more, to, Mike Brown, who, a very different coach. How was it going from Toronto to Sacramento?
I mean, obviously, it's a different, especially culture wise. Toronto's like a melting pot. Sac is it's just different. It's more agricultural. But the fans there are not much different for Toronto fans. I would say Sacramento got some of the most loyal fans, there is. As far as like, support, things of that sort, man. Their fans is unbelievable. Still to this day, I still have Sacramento Kings fans just, reach out, just, still, man, show their love, support, things of that sort. It's unbelievable, man. They can go, from a 16, 17, however long, um, playoff drought to, last year it was just unbelievable. Like the amount of support, how they just rallied around the team was incredible. It was incredible to be a part of, seriously. So it wasn't much different, man, but it's as far as cultural wise, it's different there. But other than that, I don't I don't see much difference.
How was that going into, Toronto? You came into that team, they just won a championship. You're coming
Yes.
into a culture, they
Yeah.
play off, but now you're in Sacramento where they're light the beam, light the beam. How was it a better feeling to end the playoff drought than being part of a perennial playoff team than the Raptors when, making the playoffs is the expectation.
Yeah.
While Sacramento, it's like, let's do something that hasn't been done in over 15 years.
Yeah. I don't know. That's tough, man. But I would say I did, and my rookie year, I enjoyed that. That's probably my it's one of my best. Obviously, my short career right now, 4 years. My rookie year was one of my best, not favorite year in the league. Just because I had a lot of vets, man. I was learning a lot, and just felt like I you know had no worries, no just playing freely out there without any distraction or anything of that sort. But last year was definitely one of a kind. You know, being a part of something, that's that's been, I would say in a hole for years, decades. Some people hold, I would say their whole not whole life, but like their whole, childhood, and for them to see like it probably was, just unbelievable. They thought that they probably would never come. So that was special to me to be a part of, man, for sure. The amount of, like I said, the amount of support, the way the fans rally, it was just unbelievable to see, man. You really had to be there and be a part of it to see and understand it.
That's really cool. I mean, I got to see it from afar, and I couldn't. It seemed like every day it was like a legend that was just growing and growing. You had like rap songs coming out. You had, literally it was every day. You saw media outlets. It was a great story, and it's cool to see. To see that how you got to experience kind of two different sides of the NBA
Right,
world post
right,
championship and just trying to make the playoffs.
right, right. No, it is special though.
For
I
you,
never thought about it like that, man. Playing for a team that just won a championship, and I never thought about it like that. But that's unique.
yeah, it's insane. You got to experience. I mean, the only thing now holding you is you need to get your own ring, and it's going to be
Yeah,
awesome. Then you'll experience everything. So for you, how is it like seeing going between coaches? I read Nick Nurse's autobiography, and I know he's kind of a little bit of a quirky guy, has his own things. And then you go to Mike Brown, who he's also kind of a different type of guy, but he's very seems like a very lovable and like very for his, keeping accountability is a big thing for him, it seems like. So what's it like going, having two different coaches, it seems like?
I mean, to me, they're not much different, man. They're both about, about winning. They're both winning coaches. It wasn't too much different. Nick Nurse he was more, more, I would say laid back, but he's more like, as far as being young, he was more off. He had just won a championship. You got to put all that in perspective, man. So he had things pretty much on autopilot. If I would say just on autopilot, man. You had Fred, Cal running the show. You got Pascal, OG, like Norman, Serge, like all these veterans, man. Like everything's on autopilot for him for the year I was there. Like and we was just trying to put it back together. So put the championship run back together. Obviously, COVID before COVID, we was on like a 15, 16 game winning streak. So I blame COVID for, that right there going downhill, man. Um, but no, man, Nick Nurse is one hell of a coach, man. As well as Mike Brown. I learned so much underneath both of them. Uh, as far as being a professional, just being in the right spots, how to, attack the day, just, going about by your day as a professional, man. Mike Brown, he's more of a, I would say, like he'll bring you to the side, just, talk to you, let you know what you did wrong here, what you did right here, and how to put it all together, man. We talked in the office a lot of, it's just that's who he is. So I think in a sense of that manner, that was different on that end. But as far as coaches and winning and expectations, they're both the same for sure.
And for you, one of my last questions right here. I don't mean to hold you up, but how important do you think coaching is in the NBA? I feel like coaching something that people really don't think about because basketball and the way practice and just like how the regular season works, it's completely different than other sports. Like football, people understand that there's a Monday through Friday where they're doing, practice
Yeah.
walkthroughs, but it's not like that in the NBA. Different coaches have different like ways they want to manage their team. How important is coaching to you in the NBA at least?
It's very important, man. Guys don't understand, like, everybody in this league is good. Everybody in NBA is good, man. Like, everybody can hoop, put the ball in the goal. Like, that's what it is. Now, when you got good coaches behind you and great coaches, that is, that knows how to defend guys like Giannis, knows how to defend guys like I know Julius Randle and Joel Embiid, putting schemes together. That's that's where the coaching come in at, man. Just how we gonna stop some of these guys? We know these guys getting up 20, 25 shots a game. We know Luka Dunn's average 30 or whatever. How we gonna slow him down? How we gonna keep him to 15 to 20 points a game? Like this, is how we gonna do it? And that's what coach is. And it's super important, especially when you're trying to win a championship. Definitely, man. Definitely.
And my final question's right here. What is one thing that you would want maybe NBA fans to know, or maybe players in college to know about the NBA that you didn't learn till you got there?
Yeah. I would just say, being a professional on and off the court, man. Watch who just watch the people you bring around, because the people you bring around, they would know about it as well. Just handle your business. Keep it professional. Keep the main thing, and um, and everything you do, man, within that building. And every time, and this is another thing, even if you're not playing as much as a young guy, every time you step on the court, I don't care if it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, your garbage time, you're playing 20 minutes, whatever. Every night you step on the court, man, it's an interview for 29 other teams. Every single night, no matter, how many 43 seconds, it's an interview for 29 other teams. So, that's something that I would just say, and for young guys coming into the league or trying to get into the league or whatever. So definitely every night, just anytime you step on the court, it's an interview. If you put it like that, you'll be successful for sure.
It's a great way to put it. And before we get out of here, what is one thing you want people to think of when they think of Terence Davis?
Man, a humble guy, a humble guy, down to earth. Man, someone who came from nothing. Honestly, I'm a Mississippi guy.
Eh,
Everyone knows what they think when they hear the word Mississippi. Because I've had people say, "You from Mississippi?" Yes, bro. Like, so why you say it like that? Well, I just think Mississippi as what they portray it as on TV. Nothing's there. Is racism, whatever it is. I'm a Mississippi guy, humble guy, came from nothing, man. Just down to earth and just love the game of basketball, man. A lot of people don't know, I had like 20 plus Division I offers to play football. Uh, to go to college and play football.
I didn't
I
know
just
that.
chose I just chose basketball, man, because I love the game of basketball. And you know,
Damn.
like I said, right now I'm down, but I'm never out from this, man. This is something I love. So I expect to see me soon, man, for sure. In Jesus' name.
Yeah, I really like that, man. And by the way, what position you play in football?
I was a wideout,
Wide
so
out? Got them
yeah,
hands?
yeah, definitely.
That's awesome, man. I really appreciate this, Terrence. When I put this all together, I'll send it to you. And again, hey, I expect big things from you. You've been, again, a really great guy to watch career from, how you did it your way. It's been awesome to see it through and through.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you taking the time to reach out and get me on the Zoom, man. It's probably like one of my first Zooms I've done as far as like this in a while. So I appreciate you, man.
No problem, man. Thank you. God bless.
Yeah. Take care, Corey.
Take care.